plugged in. I think I am. Good
afternoon. Live
now,
too late.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't matter. We're live, guys. Let us know if you can see and hear us okay. We are going to be talking about, I don't know. I thought I gave today's session a pretty on-trend title, but now I can't remember what it was, but it's like maximizing benefits during tough times. And the reason why I always say tough times is... if you're just joining us, hello, guys. And again, I've not even logged into the comments. Typical. So, you know me. It's just, I just get straight into chat mode. Right, let me log in so I can see who's here and who's not. So could you let us know if you're watching via YouTube? Could you let us know if
it's going to be first comment?
Yeah, first comment. It's like a rite of passage now. Whoever gets first comment. Let us know on YouTube if you can see and hear us. And if you are watching via Facebook, could you let us know on Facebook? Stuart Pryor, buenos dias, guys and girls. Buenos dias. Afternoon, everyone. Right, they're all piling in now. That's good. Guys, could you also give us a like or a love or an angry face, if you don't like what you do?
Engagement.
Yeah, exactly, as well, just so we can send out that notification to everyone to let us know that we're going to be live, because we're going to be talking about something really important today. And I want as many people to kind of be able to maximize what we're going to talk about today as much as possible. But yeah, I called it like maximizing. Thanks, Shabana. Thanks, Kay, for confirming. Hi, everyone. Loads on Facebook today, but here we go. Jamie. Hang on. What's happened? I've clicked out of it. User error. Jamie, hi guys, but for some reason it's not connecting to my phone, so I can't. Loads of people are saying hi, but I don't know who you are. Sorry. So hello.
I know.
General blanket hello.
So the only massive annoyance of StreamYard is it just says if you don't sign into StreamYard, everyone just shows as Facebook user, so we don't actually know who's who.
Yeah, I saw this really smart marketer once actually, and he made it mandatory, even though it wasn't mandatory. He made it mandatory for you to sign in and register on. He said you couldn't join the webinar or you couldn't join the stream unless you could. And but it was really good because obviously when you're going through from a marketing point of view to call people by the net, that type of thing. But we're not trying to sell you anything, so it doesn't really matter. We're just glad that you're here. Yvonne's joined us on YouTube. Hi, Yvonne. If you could just let us know that you can see and hear us all right, that would be great. Oh, the phantom door opener's back. Or something weird goes on in this room.
To make sure the glass to smash. Is that only once this happened?
Yeah.
That was weird.
That was weird. That was like someone like channeling, I don't know, something. I'm not getting into like ghost conspiracy theories. But no, the reason why, when you've been in business, thank you, Yvonne, thank you. When you've been in business as long as I have, and Matthew has, and there's so many stories, there's so many incidences of things that go on. And one thing my husband Matt and I talk about is when we had our beauty salon years ago, we rented it off of a very traditional landlord. Hi Chris, watching via YouTube, welcome. We rented it off this really kind of old school traditional landlord, and he had a dominance of retail properties in the local area, literally hundreds of them. Anyway, so this was years ago during I think, is it 2008? Yeah, it must have been the 2008 recession. And he came in to talk to us about a rent increase at the time. And we were like, do you know what? We're kind of in a credit crunch at the moment. I think it was 3.5 year break clause or 4 year break clause. And he was trying to get a rent increase out of us. And we were like, do you know what? It's like we're in this credit crunch. I just don't know if it's sustainable, that type of thing. And he just turns around to us and he goes, look, guys, I know it's tough times at the moment. We're all feeling it. And he just kept going on about this phrase and kept saying, it's tough times. Anyway, about a month later, because we used to pay the rent by check. He was so old school. We used to send it to a proper thing. But for some reason, he asked me to drop the check to his house. And It was the only time it ever happened, and he asked me to drop the check to his house. So I dropped the check to his house. And as I'm driving to the house, as I'm getting closer and closer, I'm realizing where I'm going in Poole. And if anyone knows this area, they know I'm heading closer towards Sandbanks in Poole. Where I'm going to drop this check. And then all of a sudden, I just literally pull outside of his Sandbanks house, just before Sandbanks, like Camphor Cliffs kind of area, and this massive mansion. And he stood out the front, and all the cars on the drive. And I'm like, yeah, right, Frank, tough times, kind of. And so ever since then, I've always used that phrase, but always used it in a way. I mean, we are coming into tough times. Definitely, there's no way about it. But just wanted to give you some extra kind of edge on that story.
Yeah.
Because what one person's tough times are is certainly not what another person.
He's got gardeners to pay for, maids and cooks. He's got a lot of expenses going on. Tough times. Yeah.
They were out the front and they were doing a bit of gardening. Maybe he had to let the gardener go. I don't know, but yeah. So it's just one of those stories that you get when you've been in business for a long time. Hi, Paul. Hi, Kay. Hi, Chippo. Hi, Tom. Loads of people joining us. So yeah, today we're going to talk about a couple of things, but a little bit of news that I've seen sort of floating around the social media groups this morning. And yes, it will be interesting. That must be Sean. It's got to be. So rate rise coming this week. Obviously, mass news this morning about the energy price increase, and we're going to talk about that at another time. Someone's saying hi ho, hiya on YouTube. So yeah, it's going to be interesting times, definitely. I don't know. We don't normally talk about this stuff, but it is going to have an impact, obviously. But I don't know. What's everyone's thoughts? I'm thinking they're going to go do 0.5% increase. Do we think more?
Maybe even 1%.
Could be 1%. Yeah.
Because if you think, yes, the rate has increased massively, but it's so historically low, so low already. And actually, I don't know if I think they might use opportunities to put the rate up so they have more power going forwards, because the problem is when the interest rates are so low as they are now, Bank of England's got very little impetus to actually do anything. Yeah. If it's at 0.25%, where do you go? You can't really go anywhere. Whereas if you're at 3 or 4%, then you've got that movement in the future.
Yeah.
So I think they might use the opportunity to bring it back up to a more normal level.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. Sean says 0.75%. I think 0.5 to 0.75 definitely. Simona's joined this afternoon. Jay's joined us on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, I don't like to focus on it too much. I just concentrate on earning more, essentially. It's one of those things. Again, it's got to be Sean, keep an eye on the USA. Whatever happens comes to the UK. Absolutely. Amazon announced 100,000 job losses in the USA, plus Tesla and others. Yeah, we've not really seen the impact of job losses yet. That's going to be probably one of the biggest impacts that we're going to see starting to come through. And it's kind of a little bit linked with what I wanted to talk about today. But again, we don't focus on that. We don't focus on the negative. We focus on the positive. We focus on finding ways to earn more, to maximize our businesses more. And I really do think today's session hopefully will help people in terms of, maybe opportunity areas that they're missing. But what I have seen kind of floating around Facebook this morning, and I was going to say the other social medias, but that's not true because I'm not cool enough to be on the other social medias, is, but I was going to say, I assume it's floating around the other social medias, is this kind of infographic. It's kind of infographic that basically for the first time in like 15 years or 10 years or something like that, that Amazon has actually contracted in its, share of market. Now, when I see stuff like this, it looks like big news. Oh my God, Amazon's lost a bit of its market share. But in reality, it's still 10% bigger than all of the other retailers combined.
Yeah.
So it's like Matthew said, you can't have this period of sustained, continual growth. And it's contracted by like 2%. And what's interesting is some of the other retailers on the list are, your Costco's and things like that, people that are perceived to be that cheaper. It will be really interesting actually to whether I know they do release these stats sometimes. We'll see the sort of market share change from our UK big retailers, from your Sainsbury's, Tesco's, people like that. It'll be interesting to see the shift from those to the Audis and the Lidls.
The Audis and the Lidls, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I think Amazon's still got a reputation for being cheap, so that will help it. But then again, like you said, there's opportunities everywhere. So where are these shoppers from Amazon going? That they're going somewhere, and maybe they're going to eBay or a different marketplace.
Wow.
eBay's whole reputation is on being super cheap.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, the big two that had the contraction was actually eBay and Amazon.
Was it?
The big gainer was Apple.
Was it?
Yeah.
But again, how much of that contraction was sort of artificial growth that was achieved during the COVID pandemic that would never have ordinarily been achieved?
Yeah, and it's a correction.
eBay grew, Amazon grew because of COVID. No one else could buy things. It was the only place you could get hold of stuff. So yes, they've contracted, but perhaps it was because they were artificially inflated anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it's nothing to worry about. I know why, Facebook groups and things like that post these, and I was going to share it. And then I thought, well, what's the point? It's the sort of thing, there's nothing positive there. I'd rather talk about it, explain it, and understand that exactly what Matthew said. Something like that is going to be based off of the back of COVID figures, which we know not to trust because they're so skewed anyway. So actually, they're probably, if you think about it, they're probably much higher. It's probably good anyway because they've retained a lot of that COVID
growth. Yeah.
So I think it's a good thing. So I'm not worried about it, and I just like to highlight things like that because I know that they do those sort of things pass around a little bit like wildfire, and people are like, oh my god, the sky is falling in, Amazon's finished.
OA's dead, RA's dead, Amazon's dead.
Yeah, exactly. So Denise said possibly a correction from COVID. Absolutely. We don't have many YouTube watchers. Oh no, we do. I was going to say, just checking. I know Yvonne confirmed it was okay on YouTube, but we didn't seem to have many, but we have now. Simona says they're going to the TikTok shop. Do you know the TikTok shops? They're some of my absolute favorite forms of entertainment. If I'm sat in the car waiting for one of the kids, I do have a little flick on TikTok, and it's always the shops are coming up with their live offerings. I know Luke, give him a shout out. I don't know if he's watching. He goes on TikTok and does some lives and things. Simona, our TikTok boss as well. We've got some TikTokers in here, and they always make me laugh. You need a certain type of personality for TikTok, I think, and just seeing these like innovative ways of selling to people, amazing opportunities. So people that are in my ESA group, selling the type of products that we sell through there. Oh my God, amazing opportunity for lots of people to get on TikTok and make extra sales and diversify during what will be tough times.
Yeah, Facebook's another one as well. Facebook shops, a lot of people like to buy locally as well. Again, cost of fuel and things. Maybe people are prepared to come visit you locally, pick things up. Maybe another possibility as well. You're getting extra sales because Facebook's got no fees. TikTok shop's got fees. The fees from TikTok.
Oh, I don't know. I know Simona's watching. If you can confirm, it's not something I've really kind of looked into. Do you know what? It's kind of my personal. I would love to do those kind of TikTok live kind of selling shows. I've always felt that I was destined for a life on like QVC or something like that.
I can see you on that. Yeah, 100%.
Cracking cheesy jokes and getting people to buy rubbish. I think, I think that would be right up my street. But I don't know. Whether or not it's because it's still relatively new, I'm not sure anyway. But yeah.
Well, if Amazon fails, then sorted, aren't you? But if the whole of Amazon collapses, you just get yourself on QVC.
QVC job for sure. I nearly went on QVC a few years ago. So Yeah, TikTok's great for the courses and everything like that. We won't be going down the TikTok route, definitely from that point of view. Chris has joined us. Afternoon, Chris. So let's talk about maximizing benefits. I just want to go back. Oh, do you know what, Sean? I actually think we might be in agreement. Not that we argue or anything like that. We don't.
That sounds so surprised.
Yeah, a different. I actually really agree with Sean's comment here, and I've said this from day one. You can't control a new situation with outdated policy, and interest rates are not going to be able to curve this. So I don't see the point of putting them up, to be perfectly honest.
No.
I really don't.
You're just going to hurt people, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. I think they want to concentrate on trying to hold accountable, some of the energy companies. BP, $8.5 billion profit.
That's the thing, though, isn't it?
Concentrate on that.
This inflation is not it's not driven by everything. It's driven mostly by energy, which is then in turn forcing everybody else to put their prices up, and then that's what I'm saying. It's got a very singular cause. It's not like inflation in everything is going up. It's a lot of the fuel prices going up, which therefore affects everything because everything is transported, rather than everything is going up because of various reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. So I completely agree, Sean, in that respect. It's just it's pointless in my opinion, but that is, in my opinion, printing too much money that caused inflation. Dan says it's interesting. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. My wife does Facebook Live selling British goods to Taiwan, makes a full-time living from it. The margins are massive compared to Amazon because there are no fees. And this is the thing. I think we're starting to see a little bit of Amazon making some concessions for certain things. Now, don't get me wrong. When you are 10% bigger in your market share than all of the other competitors, which include eBay, Walmart, Costco, Etsy doesn't even feature in the top 15%. The top 15 retailers. We're talking, Macy's, all of these are American stats, by the way. But we're talking all of these big kind of retailers. So they're still 10% bigger, but they know that people are improving their policies, people are improving, and they're kind of chipping away all the time at that kind of market share. And this is the first time Amazon has probably seen it, but they were expecting it. And that's why, especially, part in ESA, we talk about this because we talk about creating your own opportunities more. So the guys are aware of probably more than the traditional arbitrage crew of what are available to Amazon seller resources, which are frankly phenomenal, to be perfectly honest. So they're throwing absolutely everything now at Amazon sellers in order to try and get them to channel as much traffic to the Amazon store. Discounts, incentives, all of these different types of things, because Amazon know for the first time ever that they really, really do have to, focus on keeping people on Amazon. 5 years ago, they could be, don't talk to our customers, don't do this, don't do that, because they know that nobody could touch them because they were so advanced in their FBA program, in their market share, in their, traffic that was being channeled to the site. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still so far ahead, but at the end of the day, they know that the odd chipping away on a company like Amazon can, even 0.2% could maybe drop the share price by like a billion or something like that. Yeah. So it's going to do whatever it can. So when we look at it and think 0.2%, that's not a lot, but to them, it could be, it could be a massive amount. So again, I saw something else interesting as well. It came out in the US, stranded inventory. Sorry, not stranded inventory, excess inventory. They're now offering a discount for anything that's been in stock for more than 12 months on fees to try and get it moving. So we're going to see more incentivized things from Amazon. I'm still wondering whether or not we're going to see a removals this year, free removals. We haven't seen that in what, over a year now?
Yeah, and I think they have an excess of space because I've got a meeting set up with the guy from Amazon this week who's offering us, trying to push us on the multi-channel fulfillment route. I think they've got way too much space, so that is another potential opportunity for us to explore.
Yeah, I don't think we will see a free. If we're going to see one, it will be sometime this month. That's the only time we'll see it.
Maybe September. Yeah, it'll either be the end of August, beginning of September, in space for Q4. But I don't think they need the space.
Yeah,
and they'd rather you pay for their space.
Yeah, I think they'd rather you pay for the space, and they, free removals. What is the cost of a removal now? I don't know. What is it?
20p, I think.
I thought it was about 80p. Something like that.
Reduced, unless it's gone back up. It got reduced.
Yeah, I don't know. If someone could confirm, but yeah, that's, to be perfectly honest, Amazon's going to be squeezing every last penny at the moment, and they used to do
29p.
There we go. Regular as clockwork. They used to do 2 free removals every year. We certainly haven't seen one since about a year ago. Could even be 18 months. The last 3 years seems to mush all together a little bit now. But yes, I don't think we'll see one this year. And I don't think you're going to see space issues like you said yourself. More people are using different, ways to fulfill their goods and things like that. But what was interesting, actually, because I know we were having a conversation in a private chat, was, and hopefully you'll be, or I don't know if you're happy to share this, and I can't remember who said it, so apologies. But Amazon is starting to offer a bit more competitive pricing for shipping, right?
Yes, Johnny posted that. So this is for the shipping. I thought that was for if you're doing your own goods, because Amazon, I don't know if people know, but so for Royal Mail, obviously, if you want to ship your own goods, Royal Mail do shipping, but Amazon also offers shipping, and they're set up very similar to Royal Mail in the terms of Amazon will come and collect your parcels and deliver them to customers. Now they're actually more competitive in Royal Mail on everything but letters. That was what we found.
So what? Say that again. Amazon are going to be more competitive.
Amazon were more competitive from the fee chart than Royal Mail, apart from large letters.
Oh, could this be the beginning of the end for Royal Mail?
Because compared to what I was paying, I don't know what, because it was someone posted it.
I was going to say, who even sends letters anymore?
Well, it's large letters. A lot of our products are large letters, so it was the large letter rate was not competitive compared to Royal Mail. But so if you're selling any kind of video games, any kind of thin products, a lot of beauty products would fit in a large letter. So they're not competitive compared to Royal Mail on large letters, but on parcels they were about 20p cheaper for Europe. And the heavier it went, was the cheaper it was compared to Royal Mail.
Wow. And if they're like 20p cheaper and, it's £2, £3, something like that, that's almost the cost of inflation. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I know Sean will probably be like, not the real cost of inflation, but yeah, the government cost of inflation. Even I'm on board with that. It's not what they say it is, 100%. Let's go back over some comments and then we'll jump into talking about what we were talking about at the start, which is maximizing those benefits as much as possible. Andrew said, who'd have thought that basing the country's energy policies on the ramblings of a Swedish teenager could go so wrong? You lot are a feisty lot today, honestly. Simon said, didn't the energy companies lose money during COVID? And if the government helped them out, so the rises is to pay the government back. That's why they're not restricting the profits. I don't know government policy on that one, I'm afraid. But
I also do know that the energy companies, that the government is very worried about energy companies going bust, because I don't know if you know, the start of this year, was it Bulb and lots of other energy companies all went bust. Yeah. The government had to put the hand in the pocket and it was very expensive. I think part of the reason that they're not restricting prices is they don't want energy companies to go bust, because if they go bust, that it very badly affects the government. It also not just look bad, but it also is very expensive for the government.
I think Boris's colleagues have done him a bit of a favor, to be perfectly honest. If I was sat in that job, I would be like, yep, time for me to go. So Sean's just said, Matt, does the 29p include any products we dispose of, even big, large products? It is based on size, isn't it?
It's based on size. That's the removal rate. I'm not sure what the disposal rate is. There's a different rate for disposals. I think it's cheaper, isn't it? I think 20p rings a bell for disposals. Disposals is slightly cheaper than and they also do liquidations as well, don't they? Amazon, where you can liquidate stock. I have to get the exact information.
Yeah, I'll let you get that up, and you can have a look at that. Disposals are the same generally as the cost of removals for certain types, but removals, it's based on weight, because obviously it's a package that's being sent. Whereas I think disposals probably is the same across the board. I would have thought. It's this sort of stuff you don't look up for ages.
No, you know it, but you don't really. Yeah. And it's one of them things as well. You don't really look at the cost of it because there's very little you can do to change it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Andrew's asked, what was the minimum per day with Amazon?
I'm not 100%. I have to see if I can let me see if I can get that information.
We'll let Matt.
I feel it was very similar to Royal Mail. I think it was 25 a week, was it? Let me just check that out. Let me do that one first.
Again,
that's standard. Royal Mail's I think about 25 a week, 100 a month, usually the minimum. But they say the problem with most of these kind of rate charts is they're based on volume. So what price I pay is potentially different to somebody else, and various different things. Here we go. What does it say?
I think we're definitely going to see an increase.
Doesn't actually say the amount, the minimum.
No. I think we're going to see an increase in people that are doing offering merchant fulfilled, because if you are full-time Amazon seller, if you're based from home or you're based from your own warehouse or a lockup or a storage unit or something like that, then you might actually find that during these tough times that adding some merchant fulfilled to your, arsenal of weapons in terms of fulfillment might actually be a really sensible thing to do, because you don't have, yes, FBA costs are cheaper, but the rising cost of everything else, the cost of sending the goods into UPS, and then potentially if you can get a cheaper rate from Royal Mail, than Royal Mail, that actually direct to customer as opposed to going around the houses might financially work out and make margins a little bit more attractive for people to do it. And of course you can get to market quicker as well at the end of the day. So it's definitely something that I think, and by the way, and this is what I was going to come on and say, so thanks for saying that, Sean, oh sorry, I thought that was Simon, but it's not for the faint-hearted. Merchant fulfilled. It can F up your account pretty quick if you don't know what you're doing. So maybe we'll do something on merchant fulfilled.
Yeah, happy to do a bit, because merchant fulfilled, it works very well in certain cases. It works very well if you've got bulky items, where if you're fitting 3 in a box or having to put them on a pallet, often if you've got something you can fit 3 in a box, it's probably cheaper just send it directly to the customer. It works very well on highly seasonal items where you have a narrow window of stock and you don't want to send it in. And the last thing you want is to go, if you've got paddling pools, fantastic example. For example, Heatwave's supposed to be coming next week, going to be a massive seller. You send them in now, it's too late because Amazon's probably going to transfer them for weeks. So, and again, from a cash flow perspective, which is something I don't think people talk about and realize, is that with an FBM order, you get paid for it as soon as you ship it. Whereas if you're doing a FBA order, you've got to send it to Amazon. They probably transfer it around, then it's available for sale. You could potentially be looking at a week or two on a quick sale. Whereas an FBM order, you could sell same day and get paid for. Obviously, depending on how you can disperse, but theoretically within a couple of days, rather than waiting weeks for your money. Now, if interest rates are going to go up, that might be a very important considerator as a cost in business, because if you're borrowing money to buy stock, that is a cost of business. And the more times you can turn that money over, if you're borrowing money from Amazon or whatever, then the cheaper it will be.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of great comments there. Andrew saying use SPF 50%.
SPF.
Yeah, SFP, seller fulfill prime, to try bundles out before we FBA them. Absolutely. As you
Yeah.
say, it's quick to get new product to the market, 100%. And the trouble is, you can test new bundles with merchant fulfilled, but you're not really getting a true reflection of how well it's going to sell, because obviously, I don't know what the official stat is. I imagine it's got to be somewhere around the 4 times mark, something like that. Be interesting to hear people's thoughts on that, actually. What do you think the increase in an FBA offering is versus a merchant fulfill? I think it could increase sales by around 4 times. Something
FBA
like that.
to merchant fulfilled.
Yeah, so if you just...
I don't know. It depends very much on what you're selling, because obviously in my business, a lot of what we do is end of line stuff. There's no competition. So
Yeah.
if we're merchant fulfilling it, then it doesn't actually have any negative impact on our sales. I think it depends more on the composition. If bundles, again, probably could work quite well merchant fulfilled, because you've got no competition. If you're doing traditional online arbitrage, I think you're going to struggle doing merchant fulfilled unless it's either big and bulky or there's no competition on the particular listing.
I don't know. There's not much of a slogging out between the buy box between merchant fulfilled and for FBA now anyway. Seller fulfilled prime, again, definitely something not for the faint-hearted. Have they removed the mandatory Saturday?
No, I don't think so. Yes, that was why we never do self-fulfilled prime unless it's changed recently. We looked a few months ago. So if you do self-fulfilled prime, and if anyone isn't aware of this, so you can offer prime shipping, but you fulfill it yourself. But you'll get the prime badge on your listings, but it's very hard work because you have to ship either Saturday or Sunday. So it doesn't have to both ship Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it's one or the other, isn't it?
One or the other, and you have to ship everything on the same business day, and you have to select certain services. So it's very hard work.
I thought they didn't they loosen up on something, but I really can't remember what it is. I've never done it. Maybe we'll get Johnny on one day, because I know he has done seller fulfilled prime in the past, but I think he cut it out pretty quick, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, loads of comments coming there. Sorry, I don't want to go too far ahead. Chris says, honestly, you won't believe what I've got in this room. It's hilarious. When we have loads of kids around, we always hide all the like fighting toys, because when you got kids coming around, and we've taken the fighting toys out of like my son's room and we've put them in this room. So I've got like lightsabers and things like that in here, and I've just whacked one of those. So anyway, sorry. So Chris says, coming from an eBay background, I find FBM very easy to deal with. Yeah, you're probably going to find that transition a lot easier if you're exiting eBay, self-fulfillment, something like that. Chris says it's also another chance to get on listing. Absolutely. Sean says, I can't do minimum quantity orders on prices over 10 for Amazon with merchant to keep the prices down. Anyone else got the same? That's the minimum order quantity ones. Let us know if anyone else has got that. Not something we do or you do, Matt.
No. They just confirmed the seller fulfilled prime is still 6 days. You have to ship 6 days a week. So it can be Saturday or Sunday.
Andrew said we lost our prime badge from seller fulfilled prime listings due to Royal Mail issues. Sales on items fell by 80 to 90%. Now, what might be interesting, Andrew, is if you switch from Royal Mail to Amazon, I wonder if they would be more lenient.
They do. Yes, they do. It's part of this thing. Again, we looked at this when we looked at doing seller fulfilled prime. We decided against it only because of the Saturday thing. There's the only reason we didn't do it, because we're not messing all the schedules up just to ship on a Saturday. So yes, if you buy shipping through Amazon and the parcel is late but was dispatched on time, then Amazon will remove that defect the same way they do for FBA orders, but only if you buy it through Amazon shipping.
Now that could be a game changer for people, because the only reason they might not have done it is because they couldn't compete price-wise. But if they're now cheaper than Royal Mail, I mean, they might not be cheaper than someone like Every, but every time you ship through them, it's a disaster. So
it's a big risk every time.
Yeah, every time. I don't even know why they called themselves that. It's like the worst name possible. But again, that could be a little bit of a game changer for people, especially throughout Christmas. That quick to market. You buy it in Smith's, it's the classic. You buy it in Smith's, you list it, and then before you've checked out, you might have sold it. Who knows? Those are the stories that they used to talk about 7-8 years ago that used to suck people in to buying a course, that type of thing. So it's it's been interesting. We keep an eye on that one. I think we'll definitely do a session on Merchant Fulfilled. We can do it on Never Mind the Buy Box, where I think let's just go through the settings, Matt, and we'll go through the options for people. Maybe we'll get Johnny on to talk about Seller Fulfilled Prime, just so everybody coming into Q4 has got like every option,
good options.
Available to them that they want. Umar says, so for Seller Fulfilled Prime, Amazon shipping is this way, otherwise it's the highway. Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you can do raw mail and people make it work, but as I've just seen the next comment said, raw mail collect on time, but then don't scan the parcels. Yes, very common problem. Amazon can, that's late shipping, and it's just constant problem after problem with raw mail. So raw mail do deliver the products. They are very good. The loss rate is very low with Royal Mail. They are generally a reliable carrier, but they're not on in terms of scanning products in the same way that DPD are. Like if you do UPS or DPD, they scan it into the van, so immediately. It's like Royal Mail, just they take your bags and they disappear, and the stuff isn't getting scanned in for potentially a day, maybe 2 days if they've got staff shortages, which they always seem to have near us. So Royal Mail are very good. I don't want to slag them off because we do use them, but it's not a very good system. It's very old fashioned compared to the tracking requirements that are on Seller Fulfilled Prime, and even some of eBay. Now we have a lot of lates on eBay that aren't actually late, because another problem we have as well is that if the customer isn't in and then the parcel gets returned and then gets sent back to the customer the next day, eBay count that as late because it was delivered late, but actually they'd already attempted to deliver it, and the scan date was when the customer either picked it up or it was redelivered the next day. So it's a bit of a battle to get those knocked off all the time. So they're just not very good at the tracking side of it compared to the other carriers.
And you just would think that there would be someone in Royal Mail that knows the importance of the kind of tracking systems that Amazon, eBay, even all of these kind of selling platforms require now. You would think that they would have brought somebody in on an overinflated consultancy basis that could have pointed that stuff out, but if you don't evolve, you die. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think Royal Mail are trying to. Like, I know they've started putting pictures in. They've now started doing pictures, which I think is fantastic. The picture thing is great. So much better than a signature because, the loss rate of a picture is so much lower because people don't go, oh, well, it wasn't me that signed for it. Well, there's a picture at your front door, and it's dead easy to prove. So they are transitioning, but they're not there yet.
Again, some of my favorite TikTok videos, the ones where, have you seen that where the guy takes a picture and every single time he's like in a pose in a different outfit or something like that? Those ones crack me up. I watch too much TikTok. Cindy said, hi, Cindy. My mum just messaged me to say that she saw an article about a carpet cleaner going for 41p on Amazon, and can I get her 2 bottles? I had a look and it says free shipping. But when you click through the basket, it's $31.99 shipping. I wonder how many people have fallen for that. I've not seen shipping that high before, especially when it says free shipping on the main page. It could be a couple of things there. It could be one of the money laundering scams where they just try and get a load of money on a instant disbursement account and pull it out. Amazon cracks down on that a little bit more. But what can happen is they can have a leveraged amount of, like a scaled amount of those deals. But I don't know. That's a bit crazy. Yeah.
I know in the old days of eBay, they used to do that because when eBay first started, they didn't used to charge fees on shipping. Because obviously the intention was everybody's only going to charge what the shipping was. So everybody would charge 99p for their item and then £20.99 shipping. Because the shipping didn't have any fees on it. I mean, they changed that many years ago pretty quickly, but so it was a very old common thing on eBay.
I remember that. Yeah. Wow, 4p and £52 shipping.
Shipping, yeah.
Brilliant. Oh no, you have to tell your mum. Unfortunately, she's not going to get that. Noreen's joined us.
Just going back to I know someone asked about the removal fee. I've just checked. It did change in March of this year. So the removal fee is 29p for items under 200 grams, then 39p, then 78p from items 500 grams to a kilogram. The disposal fee, to have Amazon dispose of it, is 32p, 50p, and 90p for the same weight banding. Now, I imagine that's probably higher. It used to be cheaper. I imagine it's higher because they had a bit of a kicking from a environmental point of view, didn't they, about the amount of waste that they were producing. So I think they want people to remove the items so it's not their problem that they're disposing of it.
Definitely, they're going to be getting that. But at the end of the day, a little bit what we're talking about from an energy point of view. The trouble is they want us to live in a greener world. They want us to live in a greener world, but they don't incentivize for us to live in a greener world. Electric cars. Okay, well, great. Okay, well, yes, cost of diesel and petrol is really bad anyway. But, make sure you're electric. If you want people to drive electric cars, make sure the electric cost is low. Have you done a comparison actually?
Yeah, so yes, interesting. Yes, so it's about 50% cheaper.
It's still,
it's still, but it's only because the petrol's gone up. But massively, I used to pay when I bought my car last year, so back end of September last year. The superchargers at Tesla were about 35p. They're now pushing 50p, and some chargers are over 60p for the same thing. So the electricity cost has shot up massively, but it's still roughly half the cost of petrol for the equivalent journey.
Unless you don't drive anywhere, like I do.
Then it's really pointless.
It's pointless having a car, to be honest. Right, let's talk about what we came to talk about today. So let's talk about maximizing benefits on your purchases as much as possible during what will be tough times. This is going to be more important than ever. We're going to go into a Q4 like we've never experienced before. We don't know how much of a drop-off in demand there's going to be due to the tough times that are coming. So we want to make sure that any products that we're purchasing for sale, not only do we have the most maximum chance of making profit on them, but we're also rinsing every possible benefit that we can. Now, Matthew and I both deliberately yesterday talked about two specific benefits that you can add into your business to really maximize some of those benefits. But I wanted to run through a list of things that really you guys should be doing as standard. And if you're not doing it, then you are missing a bit of a trick, because I still talk to people now that still say, yeah, I forgot to press the cashback link, or I forgot to do this, or forgot to do that. When I first started out in arbitrage, when we did before we had our break, was it was just cashback. That was it, pretty much. It was like, and then people still forgot to press the cashback link. Now there's so many more things that you can do to maximize margin and profit, but at the same time increase the benefits that come with this selling model, which, to be perfectly honest, I can't think of another selling model that comes with so many different benefits and so many opportunities to maximize margins or have bonuses. I don't know. Can you? It's like,
no. I mean, my benefits actually are a significant portion of my earnings now. That's how much I'm making off the benefits of the business.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is why I massively FOMO'd back into arbitrage, in the last month, albeit in the US, doing it in a different platform. But I was sick and tired of missing out on the cashback and the Avios points and all of these different types of things. Because to be perfectly honest, I don't want to pay for that sort of stuff. I want to get it free. So, I want to, that's why I FOMO'd back in. So let's run through it. So this is what you should do when you identify a deal. And it'd be interesting to hear if this is pretty much what people are doing, if they've got any extras, because I've only been back in the arbitrage game now for about 4 to 6 weeks. So, and this is why this stuff is all coming back, to the forefront of my mind. There's probably even more things. So if you have got anything extra to share, please make sure you do. So first of all, you want to check you've got the cheapest price. Obviously, that goes without saying. Don't spend too long looking at it. There's plenty of good price comparisons now. And again, I've actually seen the advancement of things like Google Shopping so much more than it was a few years ago, where it just used to be like a little kind of banner. They've made, it looks pretty good on a proper comparison chart now. But of course, if you're doing lots of groceries, still things like trolley are around, that type of thing. So you just want to make sure that you are getting the best possible price for the product. That goes without saying. Then you can use your standard discount codes, and there's a variety of different discount codes that you can put in. Make sure that you're checking all the discount code, sites. Everyone's messaging me, sorry. Discount zone sites, but most importantly that you've got the discount code extensions activated. So that's your honey, Cooper, pouch, some of those ones. I know everyone's got their own personal favorites. I think being back in the game a little while, I'm definitely seeing that probably honey and Cooper cover the majority of discount codes. But not all. So that's why I do an additional search on discount codes. But then I also look for special discount codes. So I will look for things in places that I can't reveal at the moment, but I may do at some at time, that will give you that extra bit of competitive edge. And it's normally being part of certain memberships or certain groups that allows you additional discount codes, which can be as much as up to kind of 25% in some cases. Then on top of that, you want to be trying your luck with discount cards as well. And again, with what I've just spoken about, there's certain places, memberships that you can join that will give you access to discount cards. But one of the most common known ones is going to be somewhere like Complete Savings, where you can get X amount of discounted discount cards as much as possible. But make sure you do not stack up those discount cards and keep them for a long time. I think we all learned a big lesson a few years ago when, I can't remember what it was called. I want to say Zoopla, but it's not. That's the property place. What's it called? Zeke. When Zeke went bust, and it took out a lot of people's discount cards. So buy them and use them. Don't hoard them.
Yeah.
For sure. Then you've got your cashback and your various different cashback options. The main ones are going to be Quidco, Top Cashback, Complete Savings. See, just coming in. Those are going to be your bread and butter. I will always try and put through as much on Top Cashback as much as possible, even if it's a couple of points or a couple of percentage points lower than somewhere like Complete Savings, because you've got more chance of it getting through. And I'd, as they say, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So for me, I would definitely rather, if it's 2% or 10%, so 2% Top Cashback, 10% with Complete Savings, I'm probably going to take the chance on Complete Savings. But if it's 6% on Top Cashback, 8% or 7% on Top Cashback and 10%, I think I'm more likely going to go for Top Cashback. It's more of a mitigated risk, I suppose, knowing that I'm likely going to get paid out on that, whereas I may not get paid out on Complete Savings. I might get a ban or something. But then we've also got the additional cashbackers, and this is where you can really make some good extra margins. Not margins, these are bonuses. You've got your things like airtime rewards, where you don't even need to worry about clicking a link. You just upload your cards and it just does it all for you. The one big one that we spoke about yesterday was Utility Warehouse, which has come to the forefront now for people. Again, Sean's been using it for years. I saw Darren's popped up and he said he's been using it as well. Savvy people have been using it for quite a long time, and it's only really popped up at the forefront now because we're so aware of our energy prices.
Yeah.
And, I am somebody that wants to help people as much as possible. So I put myself out there and, I do a certain amount of time where I'll sign people on for the card, the cashback card for that. And I will say, if you haven't got that, and you are not running your utilities through Utility Warehouse and using that cashback card against there, you're mad. To be perfect, if you're making any type of arbitrage spend, And that's not me trying to sell it. That's me trying to highlight what maximum opportunities there are and how you can maximize that as much as possible. My bill is estimated to be £600 in October a month. £600, right? If I can get at least half of that reduced, it makes it so much more palatable. And yeah, Darren said the tariff's good in comparison as well. There's probably only one energy supplier out there that can compete with Utility Warehouse, but they didn't have a cashback card. So for most of you guys, I don't sign a lot of people up on it because it's one of those things. I'm not a Utility Warehouse consultant. I'm not trying to be a Utility Warehouse. But if I'm talking to someone and they're like, can I sign up? I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I want you guys to make as much money as possible. So if anybody does want to sign up, please contact me and let me know. But what I will say, please be respectful of my time, in the sense that, because the only time I can do this is like in the evening. And I'm doing like one evening a week and helping people, to get signed up to maximize their business as much as possible. So if you are going to book a slot so I can sign you up, please make sure you've got all your information. Because like I said, I'm taking this time away from my kids to help people in the community. Don't get me wrong, I get paid for it as well. Full transparency. I'm not going to try and say I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart, but it might well be that what you go for, I might get paid like a £5. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. Please come with the information, because it gets a bit frustrating otherwise. And that's time away from my kids, and I get pretty precious about that, to be perfectly honest, which is understandable. So if you do want to do that, if you're not doing it, do it, because I'm sure no one wants to pay for their bills, right?
No, this is what I mean. It's so, and you don't have to do anything different. This is the thing. All of this is just doing what you ordinarily do by buying deals. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So Sean says absolutely. He actually makes money on it because they'll actually pay you. But now, what I will say is I wouldn't encourage anyone to make money on it, because this is something that it's a hack, it's a benefit. It only works while it works, right? So there is no guarantees. So for me, I would be looking to take the edge off of the increases, possibly zero it out, that type. But you can't help it. If you spend big, you spend big. It's as simple as that. But use it wisely. That's all I say. But the good thing is, absolutely, if you do go into a deficit, they actually pay you the difference as well. By the way, I didn't want this to be a Utility Warehouse session. It's just because it's very
big plug.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's because we're in an energy crisis, so it's more aware.
Yeah, it's so relevant, isn't it? Especially with what's coming, I think.
Yeah. All the info's need. I just need you. Umar's just asked what is. You get, and Sean's right. You get free broadband and free mobile as well. So if you are not getting all of this stuff free, and it's your choice, guys, you choose not to sign up for it. You choose not to do it. If you are not getting it free, then you are leaving money on the table. You are giving someone else more competitive edge over you. Selling on Amazon has always been about making money. But the smart sellers really know how to stop the money leaving their pocket as well. And that's by maximizing these benefits as much as possible. Just the information, when you book a call, just make sure that you've watched the info video, which I can send you through. It's just me talking about all the benefits and what you can do and things like that as well. Yeah, you can do house insurance. You can do the lot. You can do boiler insurance as well. And what you'll need. But then when you come onto the call, you just need your gas and electricity annual usage in kilowatts or something like that. And then you will also need your broadband when it expires, or if you're in a contract or anything like that. So what I will also say as well, as lovely as it is to talk to people, I'm doing this in time that takes away from my children. Please don't book a slot if you can't change. If you're in contract, if you are, fixed for the next 8 months in your gas and electricity, and you're fixed for the next 6 months in your broadband, because the price that I would quote you now is not the price that you're going to get in 8 months' time anyway. And I love talking to people, but like I said, that's why I said just be, please, respectful of my time and your own as well at the end of the day. So yeah, right, back to the list. Then those airtime rewards, utility warehouse, using the cash back on top of that as well. Then we got the payment options. So I'm going to swap over to Matt to maximize those payment options, because you use all of the payment options as far as I'm aware.
I do use all the payment options, yeah. So because I'm mostly RA, obviously a lot of what Natalie's described isn't really applicable unless you're doing click and collects. You can get cash back on them, but obviously your typical RA, you're going to buy sales stock. There is no kind of cashback rewards that you can get from that direct services. What you can do though is you can use credit cards to your advantage. So if anybody, of course, when using credit cards, you've got to exercise financial responsibility and don't pay the balance off, because otherwise you won't be saving money. You'll be costing yourself money and interest. But if you've got the money and you're putting this money on a debit card, you are missing out, because there's so many different rewards that you can get through credit cards that pay for holidays, that you can get literally cash back, free money, all these different Avios points. So there's all different types of ones. So I'll start off with the American Express, because I think that's one of the biggest ones. Now, American Express works great for retail arbitrage because a lot of retail stores accept it in store. Online, it's a bit not as widely accepted, but generally retail arbitrage, I don't know there's anywhere that I have been to that doesn't accept American Express. Certainly all the supermarkets do, most of the retailers do. So American Express works great. Now, with American Express, there's different options. So you can have like a specific card, like an Avios card. Well, what you will get is you'll get a higher reward amount given to you. So say you'll get 3 points per pound, for example. But you'll only be able to redeem them for Avios. Now, if you fly a lot or you want to use these points for flights, that's the best one to go for, because you're going to get the most in flights. But they also do a thing called just an American Express card, and what you get is an American Express points. Now, with these American Express points, you can then convert them into all different things. So, for example, I can convert. I have an American Express. I have an Avios one, which I use for flights because I get more reward flight points for flights. But I also have an American Express points one, which I can use as cash back. So I can literally take it off my bill if I want to buy something. I can convert them to Hilton points if I'm staying in a hotel. I still can convert them to Avios, but you just don't get as many as you would for the Avios card. There's all different options that you can do with the conversion rate, and you usually get 1 point per pound of spend that you can redeem against these. So an incredible way to get points. As people hopefully saw from my post last night, we paid 40,000 American Express points. We converted them to Hilton points, and we're staying in the Conrad and the Junior Suite. Their room rate is $600 a night, and we're getting it for free because we're redeeming my points against it. So, okay, yes, you do have to have a lot of points to get something like that. But even still, a lesser stay would give you money. You can have money off with the reward points.
Yeah.
So it's not just you can only book reward hotel stays. If you have enough points, you can get discount, could get it half price or whatever. So amazing benefits through the American Express through the points, especially when you kind of move them around and convert them. Particularly, again, another thing with my retail arbitrage, another thing that's not often talked about is when you're doing the retail arbitrage, if you're going to stay in hotels, always join the reward point schemes. So we're Hilton Honors members. We generally stay at Hilton. We therefore get extra Hilton points by just staying at the Hilton. So if you're going to stay anyway for business, you can charge the room to the business, and then keep the points yourself and use them for stays in the future. So an easy way to get additional discount off your hotel stays if you want to do a lot of traveling. Now, another one that I have is Capital on Tap, and there's various other different kind of cashback cards. So there's a Barclay card cashback. Capital on Tap, I think, is the best, generally speaking, in terms of rewards. But there's Capital on, so Barclay card cashback, I have one of those. And there's a new one I've signed up recently called Jeeves, which is a new kind of rival to Capital on Tap, where you literally get usually 1%. Sometimes you might get a bonus percentage, like Jeeves is doing 3% for the first 3 months, but you'll get a percentage money, and then that will be given to you as a reward balance. Sometimes it's points that you can convert to cash, or you can convert to other reward schemes, or it's literally just cash against your balance. So on Barclaycard, they literally just give you a payment at the end of each year. So last year I got £938 from Barclaycard as a payment. I get about £400 to £500 a month through Capital on Tap through my spend. So you can see these things are quickly adding up here. I can potentially be getting sort of £10,000 a year through reward points and cashback from my business spend. And that's almost like your average salary is on 25 grand a year. You get nearly half your salary just in points and cashback. So it can be very, very effective ways to get reward points and bonus. But literally, if I put my spend on a debit card, I wouldn't get any of that. I wouldn't get a penny of it. I mean, and also from the credit card perspective, there's the cash flow element as well. Again, you've got to manage your money properly, but you're essentially going to get more time to pay this bill back. If you put some on the credit card today, it doesn't have to pay it back for 30, 45 days, potentially, maybe even longer on some cards. So, there's lots of different ways that you can, maximize both the cash flow and also the reward points as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, guys, we know that this is sensitive information when it comes to talking about this sort of stuff. And we recommend, anything that we talk about this, it's really not financial advice. We are not responsible for how I would say overall, these benefits are fantastic, but you've got to have and be in a position with your business of, what's coming in, what's going out. You've got to have levels of budgeting. You've got to, know your inventory forecast and all these different types of things. So, like I said, it's going to be something, but you're going to ease into it. Most people are going to take it and they're, going to start off small. So don't, if you've never done it before, don't jump in straight away. Please exercise everything with caution. And generally, I feel comfortable talking about it because this sort of stuff you kind of ease into, you build into. So hopefully someone's not going from 0 to 100 grand spend, unless it's Sean, who's just said he's never had one. So he probably would. Sean, please get us, if you do sign up, then, we've got a link where you can get referral.
Yeah, we've got a couple of links, and some of the links, like some things we get kicked back, and other things you actually get extra as well. So it's well worth, if anyone's interested in signing up to these, drop me or Natalie a message, because we can actually get you extra either points or cashback or whatever from signing up through our links than just signing up through the website.
Yeah. Stuart says, what was the name of the card that you mentioned after Barclaycard, which is the competitor?
It's Jeeves. But if you're interested, I've got a referral link for that, but you get extra points as well. So.
Yep, Stuart, drop Matt a message on that. I know, Sean. Yeah, absolutely. But hopefully you took our advice when we said to go and get the VAT refund. So hopefully, yeah, you can start maximizing some of those extra benefits, even if it's on Capital on Tap, Sean, because at the end of the day, that's just straight cash back. Not anything else. So it's definitely worth doing. Andre said, so late, don't do it again. We'll forgive you this time, but don't do it again.
I mean, just another tip as well. If you are concerned about managing the money, a very good way to do it is obviously to have the spend. You have to have the money in your bank account on debit card. So all you do is you only spend on the credit card what you've got in your bank account. So you're always going to be able to pay it off in full each time. So I don't want anybody to be getting into perpetual debt here or paying interest, because that negates any benefit. If you start paying interest on the credit card, then you're going to be owing them money, and that's how they make their money. But if you're going to put on a debit card, keep the money in your account. Just put the same amount on the credit card as you have cash in your bank account, and then you can use that cash to pay it off and pocket the difference. Okay, even if you're only spending, think about it. Okay, you might only be spending, say, £20,000 a year, but that's £200 extra you're getting. That's a meal out for the family, or a trip somewhere, or all for free. You're literally just leaving that money on the table if you're not doing it.
Absolutely. And this is what I mean. It's why it's so important to go through this list. And I literally wrote the list and it's like huge. We're not even finished yet, guys. So let's jump on that. Actually, before we do, sorry, Andre's just put tax. Sorry, Andre, I don't know what that's mean.
I think that's referring to, I know, so I think he's referring to the tax implication. Now, I'm not an accountant, so please don't take this as financial advice, but my understanding is points are not taxable because they are not cash, but cash back is taxable because it's cash. But please seek independent financial advice before making any decisions around that. But that is my understanding, that points are not taxable, but cashback is taxable if you're using it. But again, if you're using it for a discount off products, then it's kind of all being paid back in, because you're paying less for the goods, so you're paying more tax on your profits. You will all be paying tax on all of it.
Absolutely. So yeah, points mean prizes, cashback don't. So there we go. That's a good way to remember it. Right. Yeah, you are missing out, Sean. Definitely. As long as you can do it with responsibility, that's what we 100% recommend. Andre said that's what we do with Capital on Tap. Have a debit balance. So yeah, just to put the money in a different pot. If you've got Starling, you've got Spaces, you've got stuff like that, you've got money. We always recommend that once you've got a business account, make sure you get a business savings account that's connected to that business account, where you can put things like, you can put your spend just in a different pot. And then when the bill comes through, you just pay it off. It's as simple as that. Yeah. You just pay it off. It's as simple as that. So yeah, we don't say leverage it for debt purposes. You can leverage it for growth purposes, which is a whole different conversation, which we will have some point before Q4 or in the run up to Q4, where we can talk about leveraging debt for those type of things. But again, it's all, through experience. It's not financial advice or anything like that at all. Just quickly before we move on, just got a couple of final things to add onto that. And this came up on the chat yesterday that I saw. So this is something I know I originally heard this from Thomas Parkinson. I know that you probably knew this anyway, but first time I saw it was Thomas Parkinson recommended it, that he says that he converts his cashback in Top Cashback to Avios because you get way more bang for your buck, instead of potentially.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah, using something like an Avios card, whereas you're better using something like Capital on Tap, getting the percentage back, and using that instead of an Avios card, and then converting the cash back into Avios points because you get 3 times the amount.
Yeah, that is not something I've personally done.
I thought you had done it.
No, I haven't done that. Which is
I like the cash, to be honest.
Yeah, it depends. Again, this is the thing. It's different things for different people. If you're not traveling, there's no point getting an Avios card. It's pointless. Get a cashback card. If get what works for you, for your lifestyle.
And do look into the types of cards, because Matt's absolutely right. The Avios card that I the Avios card that I went for was one that specifically got me the best deal on flights, was to cover the cost of the flights when we go to Florida. And the reason being is because our accommodation is already covered when we go to Florida. We don't need to pay for accommodation when we get there. We have Disney timeshares, so we don't need to pay for the cost of accommodation when we go there. So we're looking to just cover the cost of the flights, and maximizing that on the best possible card was picking the right type of card for us. So that's absolutely why we chose the card that we did, to get the maximum for British Airways flights, because we don't want to fly with anyone else at the moment.
I was going to say that's a really good point you just raised. Actually, also, if you are looking to travel, make sure you get a card that's for an airline that you're going to travel on. Because not all airlines 100%. Travel to all places. For example, if you want to fly to Dubai a lot, I wouldn't get an Avios card, because although a BA do fly there, the market is predominantly by the Middle Eastern carriers, the Emirates, the Qatars. So you want something that's Sky Miles rather than Avios, because you'll be more likely to be on an Emirates flight. So just think about what you want to use the points for and get the one that's best suited to your needs.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Sean said he'll probably drop Matt a message, RE, any referral links for anything that we've spoken about.
I can put some in the comments afterwards as well.
Yeah, I think a few people are asking about Jeeves as well, so pop that one in there, Matt, if you don't mind. So just wrapping it up on, maximizing those benefits, through the tough times. And this is why you just got to make sure you do it as much as possible. Make sure, one, loyalty bonuses, that you are signed up for every single program going, Nectar, Boots, Cub Card, Advantage Card points. I'm just trying to think. Every big retailer generally has them. Superdrug, Body Shop, and some are card based, which you'll get a physical card for, but some are just web based. So some you'll be able to use in store, some you get more for using in store than use on point. If you are somebody who does do a lot of retail arbitrage in Boots in particular, because let's face it, that's really the only option. Make sure you get the digital Advantage card on the app on your phone, because you get the best possible deals and the best possible discounts. They've got an awesome app where you can just literally go on. It's like discount roulette, where you press a button, you load all these offers up, and it gives you the maximum amount of points, it gives you the maximum amount of benefits, and it gives you the maximum amount of discounts. So if you are someone that goes in and gets a load of replens from Boots or something like that, make sure you download and upload your digital Advantage card to the Boots app, because it's phenomenal. Boots is the best Advantage card. There's no doubt about it whatsoever. In terms of benefits, nothing tops Boots. You can literally go in and spend £3.50 on like a meal deal and come out with like 20 Advantage points. It's like 20 quid's worth of Advantage points. It is mad. Boots is the best. We just wish that they would be a bit more reseller friendly, unfortunately. So maximize those points as much as possible, but never check out as a guest on a website. I did about £450 order on a high-end kind of beauty shop yesterday, and I went to go and check out, and I thought, oh no, okay, I won't do that. I'll make sure I log in and check out and everything. And then it signed me up to their kind of in-store point system, and with that, I'd got the equivalent of about £3 worth of points, which then goes onto my account. I can take off my next order. And that happens on a load of stores. Holland and Barrett do it. Superdrug do it. Loads of other ones. So make sure you don't check out as guests either. Go in, sign up. Make sure that you've got a specific email that you use to sign up for all of these things. Don't don't put it in with your bobsmith69@hotmail.com or anything like that. Make sure you've got a specific professional email that's set up so you can have all your offers and all of your invoices and everything sent to one place, and then you can see all the promotions and you can see all the discounts as well. But yeah, never check out as a guest, and make sure you sign up to all digital options. Look for apps, look for anything that will give you that kind of competitive edge. Log into their Facebook page there and, send them a message. Are you running any deals at the moment? Are you running any discounts? All of these things, enough to give you a competitive edge. Because I'll tell you what, the sort of spends that some of you guys do and some that we will be doing moving forward, now we're back in the arbitrage games, this stuff, it's pounds and pennies, but I'll tell you what, it compounds pretty quick.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
And if you guys are missing out on it, you're leaving money on the table. And the next time when you see all the lemons throwing themselves off of the cliff in price tanking heaven, then you're going to feel just that little bit better about yourself. The fact that you managed to rack up some, first class flights to somewhere. Who knows?
Yeah, you can fly away all your worries of price tanking for free.
Absolutely. While they're throwing themselves off the cliff, you can fly off in style. God, we've been cheesy today.
That's just another really good point, actually, just to mention. If you are doing the retail arbitrage in the supermarkets, most of them have the Sainsbury's, Tesco, Club Card, Nectar points. Do I still have a reward scheme? I don't think they do, but you can definitely get extra points through just scanning your Nectar card, Club Card. So it's well worth doing that as well.
Absolutely. Andre's comment, I can tank any price tanger. Yeah. Adaronco said, does Capital One Tap open account for sole traders? I think they do, don't they?
I don't know. You'd have to apply, I guess, and find out. Again, if you're interested in a referral, they could get you £75 for a successful application. Of course, again, all these things are subject to status and credit and things, so I can't say whether you'll get them. It's up to the individual companies. But another thing is, just because one says no doesn't mean another will say no. That's a really good point. They all have different eligibility criteria.
Oh, well, that's
has it? Has just started the rewards thing.
Yeah, that's just coming on YouTube. So not everyone will see the comments. That's why me and Matt. Yeah. Asda apparently have just started a rewards program.
Yeah,
so that
they do. If you use the app on your phone. Yeah, there's a reward scheme. It doesn't.
There you go. God, you Google stuff quick.
I don't. It doesn't. I don't. I'm not very clear what you actually. Oh, it's still in. I think it's in a trial phase. So, it's not been published. But yeah, if you're going to be going and buying stuff anywhere, I'd get on that as the rewards.
But interestingly enough, if you sign up for Utility Warehouse, if you sign up for that and run all your electricity and everything through that, you will get 3% cash back from Asda anyway, which is, so it's all these added benefits, hidden benefits, that type of thing. So definitely worth doing. Umar has said, would converting Avios to Nectar have any tax implications? Don't know.
There you go. You'd have to speak to an accountant for confirmation. I wouldn't want to say for certain.
Andre says, what? My email's done it, I bet you. I email Asda on a monthly basis, pointing out that competition has apps and they don't. Absolutely. There you go. That's all down to you, Andre. They should give. I used to work for a company that used to give really good incentives for helpful ideas. Someone got paid $100,000 once for for a tip. Yeah. I used to work for Reed Recruitment, and I can't remember what it was called, something stupid where you put suggestions in, employee suggestions, and they suggested something which actually transformed the business, which was allowing other recruiters to advertise on the read.co.uk website for free. And this guy just put in a suggestion and it worked out so well for them, and they got like $100,000. Used to get like 25 quid to $100,000. But most of the time they just pay you 25 quid to keep you happy. So I just used to put random suggestions in. Just get 25
just a note on the Asda one. I've just had a look. It's apparently, because it's only in trial stage, it's only available in 48 of their stores. So just to be aware. But it's probably going to be rolled out soon because it started in March. So I imagine if it's successful, they'll roll it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, yes, Asda works with Utility Warehouse, but you have to be a partner. So that's the caveat. So you have to join the partner program and then you get 3%. And it's the same with John Lewis. And that's going to be the same with Waitrose when it comes in through them. So if you're not a partner, then drop me a message and I can just sign you up as a partner because it's worth it. You pay 10 quid and you get access to 3% at Asda as well. So if you do speak to me about Utility Warehouse and I try and sign you up as a partner, I'm not trying to sign you up as a partner to sell Utility Warehouse, because you get extra benefits, you get extra cash back. But again, all competitive edge for sure. Right, so hopefully that's been helpful today.
I hope everyone's mind's been blown by the benefits available.
Well, I think it's one of those things that individually people will know about 95% of those. But when you stack them all up, when you really stack them all up, all of those added benefits, and it's going to be different things for different sites, there's no doubt about it. Some you might only just get cash back, that's it. Another one, you might get cash back, you might get extra discounts, you might get membership discounts, you might get discounted gift card, then you might be able to put it on your Amex card through airtime rewards, and then get extra discount because you've had a £400 order the day before. It's all of these different types of things. So, and it comes with experience and it comes with repetition. more than anything else. It comes with it doing it on a regular basis, so it becomes so ingrained that actually when you go down your local McDonald's and you're ordering like a Big Mac meal and you're thinking, what can I get extra here? And and they won't give you anything extra, but it becomes second nature. And you find yourself asking for discounts in places that you won't get discounts. We've all done it. Always try my luck. Always try my luck somewhere. Stuart said, do you know what? I knew that would happen. Not a single Asda south of London is participating. It's that northern wall. It's so divisive. And me and Matt have this conversation all the time. I obviously think anything north of
Watford is the north.
Is the north. But I swear, and this proves my point, right? This proves my point. Now, how many times have I said this? It proves my point. Asda down south do not get as good a deals as Asda up north. I've always said that. Back in the day, when you used to be in little kind of bolo groups and things like that for retail arbitrage, because that's how we started out with retail arbitrage. And everyone would say, wow, look at this like penguin car Lego set. I bought it for £4 at Asda. I'd go down my local Asda, be like 40 quid in there. Like ridiculous. North of Winchester, pretty much.
North of Winchester, yeah. Winchester's pretty far south as well.
Absolutely. We get discriminated against. Asda discrimination for sure. Right. Jamie says it's just started at my local Asda this week in Kent. So, okay, guys, give us some feedback. Let us know in the group. Is it what is it, by the way? Is it points? Is it what is it?
It doesn't say. It doesn't actually say. It's not clear. I can't. Unless anyone's managed to read in more further. It might tell you when you actually sign up for it. I've just gone on the website. It just says you can earn cash pot rewards, whatever that means.
Well, we'll take it, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. If you just got to scan the card, then why not?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We will take it 100%. So, yeah, I hope it's been valuable for you this session, guys. Please make sure that you, this is where I always get it wrong. So if you're watching on Facebook, no, not on Facebook. If you're watching on YouTube, worst YouTuber ever. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure you hit us a thumbs up on the video. And if you could leave a comment on the actual video as opposed to the comment section, it's always really helpful. I actually appeared this week in Thomas Parkinson's video on his Fast Track FBA, which I'm going to post the video in the group anyway as well. It was so weird because he come down and he did the video. And normally with Thomas's videos, I've done videos with him in the past, you like literally wait 3 to 6 months, don't you, before the video goes live. And it was like about 2 weeks ago that I filmed it with him and it's gone live already. So it's gone live already. So we're talking about diversification during Q4. So if you haven't seen that video already, pop over onto Thomas's channel on Fast Track FBA. I might do something, like put the video in the that's what people say, isn't it? I'll put the video in the comments or, or something like that. So, but I will post it in the group a bit later for anyone that hasn't seen it. So hopefully it's been helpful, guys. We're going to be back this time next week. Thanks, Andre. Oh, and thanks, Andre, for...
I'm not here next week.
I know. I was just about to say that.
Oh, right. Okay. Just because you said we're back.
It's like the royal we. The royal we, as in never mind the buy box. But yeah, thanks, Andre, for making it happen with Asda. Yes, so we are back next week, but as in the royal we, as in I will be here with someone else. So it's going to be Anna Logan's Riverby is going to be joining me next week. We are going to be talking about VAs because you guys are going crazy over VAs at the moment. I am receiving more messages about VAs than I probably have done in a really long time. So I think it's probably everyone's kind of getting their ducks in a row, ready for Q4. So we're going to run through.
Now's your prep times. Yeah, perfect time.
Absolutely. So I think we're going to, we're going to go through everything. We're going to talk about recruitment. We're going to talk about the process. We're going to talk about hiring. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and that obviously Anna does. So full transparency, I'm not trying to sell anyone anything, but people that don't want to recruit themselves, Anna does offer a service where she recruits VAs on behalf of Amazon sellers, but from different geographical regions. But we'll talk more about that next week anyway. But it's going to be an interesting one for anyone that is considering a VA, albeit now or any time in the future. So it's always worth jumping on when we do ones like that. So she's going to be here next week, 1 o'clock with me. And then Matt will be back the following week. Where are you going, by the way?
I am doing another kind of hybrid Cornwall. Well, we're going to Cornwall, but we're doing 4 days of RA and 5 days in Cornwall.
Nice. Very nice.
So living the life, as my dad said to me this morning.
living your best life for sure.
Living best life, that's for sure.
Where are you going to post the Jeeves link? Are you going to post it in here?
I'm posting it now. Yeah, just in here. Okay. So yeah, I'll put all the links in there.
Well, have a great week, guys. Love that. Stay happy. I completely agree. Don't let the buggers bring you down. There's going to be a lot of doom and gloom over the next week. So keep focused, keep positive, keep focused on the task in hand, because do you know what? Yeah, it's going to be a bit crummy, but at least Q4 is around the corner. So we've got some good stuff coming, and good stuff that's going to be happening over the coming months. So I will see you next week. Matthew won't. And have a great week, guys.
Great. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I'll be hopefully more tanned, but we'll see.
See you later, guys. Bye.
See you later. Bye.